Oh, this whole thing? It's just a Valentine's Day greeting card that I made. Who's it for? Well, I don't have a Valentine, so I guess we'll figure that out later. For now, let me show you how I made it. So the first thing I did was I went ahead and started thumbnailing some of the ideas that I had, because thumbnailing is the most important step, even if I don't usually do it. And I was planning to do like 3 different like Kim and Ron, Kim Possible cards, but then I realized, why limit myself to one punny fandom universe when I can draw Robin and Starfire or Cosmo and Wanda, you know? So I thumbnailed a whole bunch of different ideas, but that was its own problem because then later on I couldn't pick which idea I was gonna do. But for now, we're not gonna worry about that. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Right now, all I was really worrying about was, well, what is the actual size of a greeting card? And oh look, it's a multiple choice answer. Thanks, Google. And then I was ripping, measuring, cutting, very, very carefully cutting, folding, and oh look, the corner rounder decided to get involved. And then we were on to the drawing. The first part I did was the hand lettering, if we can call it that. And the pun that I chose was, I wanda you, baby. Cause you know, I'm drawing Cosmo and Wanda and like, I wanda you, like the song. Get it? It's funny, right? And then I drew Cosmo with his wand in his mouth because I thought it matched the vibe, I guess. And then I went on to the inking, which I think made the writing stand out immediately in a good way. The next thing I had to do was inking in the character, which was Cosmo. And I really do think this helped the character stand out, but I was pretty nervous while doing it because I'm not used to drawing these characters. I'm not used to drawing like Western style characters. I'm like, you know, like just let me do my anime girls. But it came out okay. There's one mistake that I cannot stop looking at, but overall it's pretty good. I mean, I think I nailed the expression. Look at that mouth, and then the wand, and the teeth. You can't tell me I didn't nail that one. But as much as I like it, there is something I don't love about it, which I will get to later, don't you worry. And then I decided to go ahead and add a thick outline around the outside, and I really do think this made it stand out and look way better. I think it just looks more greeting cardy, greeting card-ish. Yeah. Like, look at that. There's nothing that a thick outline can't fix. And then it was time for Wanda, whose expression looks just as unhinged as Cosmo's, but I think it fits the character, you know? So I think it actually looks pretty good. But then it was time for the final countdown. Okay, sorry, but seriously, it was time for the last step, which was coloring. And I honestly did not know how I was going to do this. I contemplated doing acrylic markers because they would look more bold, or like gouache. But in the end, I went with watercolor because it was in my comfort zone. And it looked a little patchy. But I think it's okay. I think it adds character. I don't know. I think they still look fun, even despite the fact they're a little patchy. I think I need to practice just doing like some washes of color because it's hard out here, you know? And with that, we're done with the first card, so roll the clips, I guess. And now it's time for the second greeting card with an iconic cartoon couple, you know? I'm fine, just forever alone. Anyway, can you guess who it is? I feel like this saying makes it pretty obvious, but I'll be generous and give you like 10 more seconds to try to figure it out. If you guessed Lloyd and Yor from Spy Family, then you win. And what do you win? Bragging rights. So feel free to brag in the comments, I guess. This couple was actually quite a bit harder to draw than Cosmo and Wanda, which I was pretty surprised by because I love drawing anime. I've drawn them before. So this should have been easy, but it wasn't. I feel like they were kind of plain looking, but I don't know, maybe it was the poses, maybe I just needed to add more details. I can't really figure out what I don't love about this, but you know, it turned out cute. I'm not gonna complain about that. I think all's well that ends well. That's the saying, right? But yeah, this one just wasn't as fun. I mean, we can't win them all, can't we? But it kind of sucks when the process is a little bit more frustrating because it makes it, at least for me, I don't know for other people, but when I look at the drawing, no matter how good it looks, it just makes me think of all the frustration that I went through during the drawing, and it makes me like the drawing a little less in the end. I don't know. Does that happen to anyone else, or am I being swayed by my emotions a little too much? Who knows? I also talk to myself, so it really could just be like a me thing, you know? But moving on to the inking, I thought this phrase, even though it's not really a pun per se, kind of fit them really well. It's like, I love you to death, and I thought it's like funny, you know, because they are like secretly trying to kill each other in like a Mr. and Mrs. Smith type of way. So yeah, even though it's not a pun, I think it kind of fit the criteria. Plus, I really like that I did all of it on the left side. I know that's kind of random, but I feel like it makes the whole card look more interesting. So yeah, I think I did a good job with that. The watercolor still leaves a little something to be desired, but I think I'll redeem myself in a different video with that one. You know, you can only do so much in one day. Anyway, here are some cinematic shots. Okay. Ugh. Houston, we've got a problem. I don't know what to do, what's the right thing? Sorry, you guys, but yeah. That is in fact the problem. I don't know what to do because I have done this one. There. Sorry. I have done this one. And now I'm stuck. I don't know what else to do. I have lots of ideas. I could do Starfire and Robin. I could do Raven and Beast Boy. I could do Kim and Ron because they were the original, idea that I had to do. But the problem is just that I don't feel like I have any good puns for any of them. I know how to draw, but I don't know how to pun. Punning is not in my blood. I just don't have the experience to do it properly. And it turns out it's harder than I thought. I thought the puns were gonna be just like the cute add-on, but no. Puns are hard. Or maybe I'm just not funny. The point is, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But you will in the next clip. I just wanted you to share my struggle, at least a little bit. Okay, so I have my iPad over here with my references, and I'm just gonna draw here on the floor for a little bit. And maybe you just got a hint of what I was gonna draw, but that's okay. I don't mind telling you. Because you are my friends. You are my friend. Anyway, we're gonna start with the does this thing have a name? The thing that she gets cold on and then she says like, what's the sitch? You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, that one. Anyway, we're gonna start with that because I thought it would be a cute little add-on. So there we go. And then I'm gonna draw her head like that. And then she's gonna be standing kind of with her arms down. So I think what I want is I want him to be like this. And then he's gonna be holding his arms out. And it's gonna be a giant taco. That's a horrible hand. Like, I'm sorry, what? And then he'd be kind of like this. It's hard to find like just a full body reference of him. Okay, there we go. Should we just do him standing normally then? Or should he be holding flowers behind his back? Is that cuter? Let's try that. I think that might be cuter because it'll mirror sort of the pose that she has inside. Okay, let's try that. So it'll be like that. And then it'll be like that. And then what we'll do is we'll do a whole bunch of flowers. Like that. And then I think that's gonna look cute. Alright, if I can nail this sort of thing, I think we can make it work. So I'm gonna get to work. This is what we're going with. Yes, I know. I had the chance to draw a taco on a Valentine's Day card, and I just I dropped the ball, okay? I admit it. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. Flowers? That's so basic. Come on. We could have drawn a taco. Not to mention all the taco puns we could have come up with. And by we, I mean me. And by me, I mean probably the internet, because I've got no skills. At least no pun skills. Yeah. That's definitely a regret. We'll be trying this again next year. My second biggest regret of this card was the stiff posing. But to be honest, they were way harder to draw than I thought they would. Like, you know, they're Disney characters. They're fun and friendly and approachable. Well, not if you're gonna draw them. Not with a pen or a pencil. Nope. It was kind of a nightmare to get Kim's eyes to look even a little bit okay. She looks a little weird. But I tried my best, and I'm proud of that. And I think the pun is kind of cute, you know? Run-stoppable love. Get it? Because he's Ron-stoppable. So it's like run-stoppable. I don't know, I thought it was funny. Please tell me it's funny. I worked hard on this one. And then it was time for painting, which was actually the easiest part of this drawing, which should tell you something about it, because as I've mentioned before, I was struggling to get through this. But you know what? They made a really cute couple. And I was happy to draw them. I think it was a cute card because they're just such a cute couple inherently. Even if I don't have anyone, it's fine. I'm good. Anyway, here's the beauty shot. And now for a critique. Okay. We're back again for critique Spirit Fingers. Because I have finished all 3 of them. Yay! Woohoo! But I figured I would share one thing I don't like and one thing I do like about each one. Rapid fire. This one right here. What I like about it is the poses and the expressions. I think Cosmo and Wanda, both of them look hilarious. And I think that's what makes this card interesting. What I don't like about this one, and man, does it, is this right here. You see it? Do you see it? It's a tangent. And every time I look at this card, my eyes are just drawn to it, and it kills me inside a little, you know? Like the song, what's the song? The Rihanna song? You know the one, right? Anyway, that's that on that one. Moving on. What I like about this one is the composition. I like that the character is on that side and the words are on this side. Smooth, wasn't I? So, that's what I like about it. What I don't like about it, I think it's the lack of detail or the lack of fun. I don't know how to describe it, but it looks kind of plain, kind of boring. I wish it looked a little bit more detailed. Although I will say your looks a lot better in my opinion, but you tell me. Moving on. Ow, that did not work. To the third one. Run-stoppable love, get it? Because anyway, yep. And then Miss Possible on the inside. What I like about these, I like the colors. I think the colors, especially Ron's colors, really pop. What I don't love about this one is the pose. I feel like maybe I could have made him like half body, like maybe like this. and then made him like take up the bottom half, and then this, actually that would have been a good idea, but I didn't have it 2 hours ago, so that's a shame, I guess. But yeah, I think the pose in general and maybe the composition, but like, yeah, Kim's pose just looks really, really stiff, and I wish I had taken the time to redraw it, because it is always worth it to redraw something, because it just is. Trust me on that one. I keep making the same mistake and I keep regretting it. So anyway, as for who I'm giving the cards to, well, Mom.